off the way that I'm intended to start off, and just want to throw out for everyone's edification that people have been tracking me in the context of this practice that I'm bringing into these videos. I literally had to move my reminder thing closer because when it was back there, it wasn't close enough. I didn't have a big enough reminder for me to remember that my intention is to start these videos by acknowledging the land that I stand on is Wabanaki land, and that it was appropriated from them, and that I benefit from that appropriation every day. I also benefit from the appropriation of people's lives and freedom in the context of the slave economy, 400 years of blood, sweat, and tears, and that I benefit economically from that on a daily basis. And so, having said all that, I want to throw out an idea about gratitude and a gratitude practice, which is more than what I've talked about in the past. It's more kind of a paradigm of gratitude. There are First Nation traditions that I'm not going to appropriate here, but just to give credit to, where there's gratitude spoken before anything else, and so the words before all else being a way to situate oneself in the context of gratitude before we do anything that we do. And so it changes the idea of gratitude being an attitude into gratitude being a practice that's a continual practice. And I've heard some Indigenous and First Nations folks talk about how, although Thanksgiving is problematic in many ways, their biggest concern about it is that we only give thanks once a day officially. And so to take up the notion of giving thanks more frequently is also a hat tip to First Nation people, and also an act of respect to them and their sacrifices, and also all they're offering currently in this culture as we turn our gaze back to them and the knowledge that they carry. So then a practice of gratitude, where gratitude is taken up. You take up gratitude before everything that we do. You take up gratitude. And so, in my work, I've talked about acceptance, forgiveness, gratitude, and service, and I realized that a great way to reorder that would be to put gratitude first. So gratitude, acceptance, forgiveness, and service is going to be my new way to do that, because then it reminds me that gratitude before everything else is a way to be, as opposed to an attitude to have. It's also still very cool because, as I talked about before, gratitude is a practice that I can take up whenever I want to, and it's something therefore that's in my control. But to make the choice to practice that before I do everything that I do, first thing in the morning and then throughout the day, including the gratitude to the First Nations folks, context their loss of land, and for other BIPOC folks in the context of their suffering and loss, and slavery economy is another way I can take up gratitude and also acknowledge those things that are important for me, I believe important for me to be paying attention to. So that's something to think about in terms of gratitude and in context of Knowledge Saturday. Hope everybody's having a great day, and I'll be back tomorrow with Back to Basics Sunday. We'll be talking about diaphragmatic release and breath work and all that stuff that I always talk about on Sundays. Take care.